Where are you? Where are you, Scott? Hi.
How are you doing?
I am so good. How are you?
Good. We're back to normal decor at the Havens household.
It's
How are
right.
you doing? You're tropical today?
I'm traveling. Just kidding. I wish I was traveling. The other day I talked to somebody that we both know, but I won't mention names on the show. And she actually had real palm trees in the background. And I was like, hold on, let me switch my screen. So I
That-
was very jealous. How you been?
Are your kids virtual school right now?
I got 3 kids here virtual schooling right now.
Yeah, I would say you would be on vacation if they weren't virtual schooling, but you're not.
I'm about to take them on vacation and they can sit inside in virtual school while I go to the beach. Is that bad? Is that mean? Is that a mean mom thing to do?
That's exciting.
How have you been? What's so crazy is next week's the last week of January, the first month of 2021. How has January been?
This is kind of the Super Bowl is always the beginning of the year. And what I mean by that is, both you and I do a lot of connecting and helping folks, meet other people or other companies. And so this is the time of the year that's kind of crazy. So I budget my time, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but, I've really, outside of the first maybe 10 days, I've probably worked maybe only 1 hour at night, and my calendar is going down like this in a great way.
Yeah.
How has your 2021 been?
We've been I think it took most of the pandemic to realize people should start doing digital marketing. So we've been crazy busy because everyone's like 2021 is our digital marketing year. So it's been really good for us. So, but you talk about connecting. Today I talked to somebody on the phone and I said, I'm going to introduce you to Scott. And he said, oh, I just got off the phone with Scott. I haven't even told you that story yet. So I think that I'm very proud of both of us for keeping that up. And with that said, I want people to tell us where they're watching us from. Yeah, you're getting good at it. Tell us where you're watching us from. Tell us if you're here. Are you on Facebook? Are you on LinkedIn? And start networking here in the comments. Everyone says to Scott and I, how do you guys know everybody? Well, we know everybody because we talk to people. So start getting in the comments over here. So I'm super excited about our panel, but let's talk about how excited we are that Bank of Blue Valley is still along on the ride for us with us.
Oh my gosh. Well, not only that, but Sean and Felicia, who's our team that we work with, are absolutely wonderful. And we're going to get into more storytelling of the opportunities that they've helped business owners, much like the business owners chatting in our chat window over there, and the second round of PPP that they're working with. They're also a major banking institution that are all throughout the country, and they're always hiring. So we're really happy that we work with them on a hiring standpoint. And as always, Wendy Reynolds, the CEO, is a huge deal. A lot of people know her in Kansas City. She's super nice. She watches the show. And so I don't think we could think or ask for a better group of partners. And it's great to see that now that they've invested in us. I do run into people that say, hey, is that the Bank of Blue Valley show? And so that's the thing that's most special. So very exciting.
We were driving in Leawood the other day, and my kids go, Mom, Bank of Blue Valley, right there. And that's like there. So at least my kids are listening. We know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, we got so many people over here. I want to say hi real quick, and then we're going to bring on our panel and get started because we got a lot of people. Well, we are so excited. So one of our favorites. Hi, Isaac. Isaac's got some cool stuff in the works. We're working together on some stuff, so I can't wait till he makes some of those announcements. Yvonne says she's in KC and she's watching from Facebook. Thank you, Yvonne. Melanie's in NYC watching from LinkedIn. How cool. We're national, Scott. We've got Jennifer from Kansas City, and she's over on Facebook, and she says, Mickey's from Lenexa, and Mickey actually just did a rebrand. So go check out Excelifun. He just changed his name, rebranded website. It looks amazing. If you're thinking about starting a business, Mickey, talk to him. Angie, she's a past guest, as well as Mickey and Isaac. I guess a lot of these people are. Hi, Angie. We've got Eric. We've got Christine. We've got Sharon. We've got Claudia. We've got so many people. You guys are the best. We've got Jennifer. We've got Matt. And we've got last week's singer, Miss Letitia.
Oh, shoot. Well, next episode, Letitia needs to be our opening for our intro song.
She's supposed to write us a jingle. Okay, keep getting your comments in here. It's always better to comment early and ask questions early so you can make sure you make it up here. You guys, I've got about 25,000 connections on LinkedIn. They're not all watching now, but they'll see it a little bit, and that is the way to network. So let's get started. You want me to do music? I'll do the music.
I would love to. I'm excited because we got a 2-for-1 deal that we're going to start out with.
We've never done this before.
That's exciting. So, I feel like I need to shotgun a beer. Well, there's all these first things going on.
I'm drinking today.
Candy Jack.
Cayman Jack. They're my favorite margaritas, but it is a drinking type of day. Okay. You ready?
Ready to dance.
But it's got to be better than some of the stuff you've been playing, so.
Yeah, I'm horrible at DJing, but up first, number 1, tag team, Jill and Jacob.
Woo!
Number 2, in the middle, we have Jess Phillips.
Hey.
And for the 4th J, we have Miss Jessica.
So many J's today. I played some slow jazz. Okay, no pressure, guys. No pressure. But Jennifer says she is a first-time watcher. So no pressure, but we got to have Jennifer come back. So welcome, everybody, to the show. The music I played today almost was worse than when you played the Little Mermaid instrumental.
I thought it would pick up. The song never picked up. It was horrible. I have a lot of bad stories about DJing. I'm not good.
We're not DJs. We've got to get we're going to figure something out, some sort of DJ at some point on this show. And we've got some other cool stuff coming on this show. We're going to start introducing you to people that are looking for jobs soon, as well as bringing on people that own awesome companies like Today in Organization. So how about we get started? So, okay, listen, this is a whole new game for me to have 2 people in the same room. All right. So we're going to do our best.
We work well together.
I'm going to try to pay attention. So individually answer this question. Who are you? What do you do? How do you get here? Tell us all about yourselves.
All right. Well, I'll start. I am Jill Glasenapp. I am the co-owner of Cobra Command CrossFit in Basehor, Kansas. I'm also the co-owner of Functional Eating with Jacob over here. And another partner, Vince Bertucci, who happens to be a watcher.
He wasn't invited because he didn't start with a J. So
it didn't start with a J, so we didn't invite
him. Fun fact about Vince, when I used to work in the apartment industry, he lived in my apartments, and we all put that together right before the show.
Super small world in Kansas City. I also have a couple of other endeavors, but Cobra Command and Functional Eating are my 2 big ones right now. I came to Kansas City actually through the military. My husband is military and got stationed at Fort Leavenworth, which brought me to the Kansas side of Kansas City. And here I am as a business owner, and we plan to stay here forever. So.
Yeah, my name is Jacob Heppner. I don't own Cobra Command CrossFit. I co-own a couple companies with Jill alongside. I consider her the brains, and I'm just less of the brains portion. But maybe I don't know. Beauty's the right response to that. But anyways, so I own a couple companies with Jill. I'm also a professional athlete, and that is pretty much all the time I have. Is right there.
I think it may be Braun. Are you the Braun?
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say beauty wasn't a good response. That was very inappropriate. I'll go with Braun. I appreciate it.
I got to know the professional athlete for our listeners. I know a little bit about your background from research, but give everyone a background about you being a professional athlete.
Yeah, you can't just put that in there and then not say anything.
Yeah. So I have competed in the world of CrossFit for many years. Placed top 10 for 3 or 4 times now, and that's pretty much what I do professionally. Been doing that for 7 years now, and Jill's also my coach. So Jill and I pretty much spend too much time together doing a lot.
Spend a lot of time.
So.
Last question: when was the first time you got sponsored? So, like, how did that go? Because obviously, you're in at the time an emerging sport that's now very mainstream. But how did that first sponsorship go? Like, they were like, they offered you X, and you're like, whoa, I didn't know I could get paid for this.
Yeah, so good question. Didn't get in the sport to get sponsored. And if you had asked me in college when I would get sponsored by a company, I'd said, I don't know what you're talking about. I stink at football. But one of my first sponsors was actually Nike, which is obviously a larger company.
No big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. But to me, it it's an emerging sport that started somewhere. I think Nike saw that, Nike's got, money in the bag they don't really care about, but they can throw our way or throw it CrossFit or functional fitness direction. That's what they did in the beginning. So.
Wow. Just Nike. No big deal.
No big deal. I mean, just that.
Just Nike. I've heard of them.
Just a small apparel.
I think there is a story, though, of someone back in the day. I'm going to mess this up. Scott knows this. I'm terrible at sports. But Nike, when they went to someone there was an athlete that took them on very early, and it ended up working out really well when someone else. I'll find out the story. I'm going to shut up. Jess.
I think it's a guy named maybe Jeremy Jordan or a Phil Jordan or maybe Michael Jordan, I think.
That's it.
Oh, that guy.
I saw it on Last Dance. I think that's why I just realized I heard that story.
Could be the greatest athlete of all time, Aaron, but who are we?
Okay, for the record, I was a big Dennis Rodman girl. So that's where most of my focus was at in the 90s, okay? All right, Jess, who are you? What do you do? And how do you get here?
Okay, awesome. So we have family here in Kansas City. That's what initially brought us here. We fell in love with Kansas City area. Obviously, the people, the food, and the football. Woo! Go Chiefs! I am the co-founder of Hyprcubd. My husband is the other co-founder, Nick Phillips. And I just have to tell you, first of all, there is so much tech here in the Kansas City area. We weren't sure where to start and what to do, but we co-founded Hyprcubd. And as the CEO of Hyprcubd, we were doing that, and then I invented a GPS tracking device. And so I was doing that, and we have children, and we were just doing all of the things. And it was just, for us, kind of this evolving production. Obviously, we had all of our kind of ducks in a row, and we were doing so many things and realized that the tech industry in the Kansas City area was booming. And we started reaching out to family and friends and realized that this is where we wanted to stay. So we really found our roots here and started growing our company. And we have just fallen in love with the area. We know this is where we belong. Hyprcubd is the company that we started together, and it has grown organically. It's an IoT consumer electronics health and wellness platform. And so I cannot wait to share more about that. We're super excited.
Now explain IoT to the audience.
So IoT is a platform, and it's Internet of Things. And what we are doing is working with companies that are devices. And the reason that we chose health and wellness is because it spoke to me. I used to be a psychotherapist, and I went from a psychotherapist into the tech industry. And it was such an abrupt movement for so many people. They didn't understand that. How did that work? And I felt very strongly about this. For me, I wanted to help people in a very organic way understand how health and wellness was from everything from your mental health to your physical health and all of the pieces that kind of came together. And my husband, being a software engineer, he was developing a time series database, and we wanted to be able to do two things that we loved that didn't feel like work and do that together. And it kind of just over a cup of coffee became Hyprcubd. And so that's what we're doing, and we're loving every day of it. And we're pretty excited about where it's going and how it's become Hyprcubd. And so we both have our pet projects and our hobbies, and another company that I've started as well. But Hyprcubd right now is our focus and what we're doing and what we love.
I love it. I've been watching what y'all are doing, and you've gotten a lot of press lately, so we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But women in tech, you're killing that space.
Super excited about it.
All right, Jessica, who are you? What do you do, and how do you get here?
Wow. Hello, everyone. How did I get here? Let's start with that one first. Born and raised in Kansas City, went to HBCUs down south, Southern University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Jaguar for life. Came back to Kansas City because I had a job. So go figure, graduate from college, you need to go back home if there's a job there waiting. So I came back to Kansas City and got into pharmaceuticals. I've been doing sales for many years and EMR training. In 2017, I left it all, left my current job then was third-party trainer for Cerner, and I left it and put everything into Giving Hope and Help, which is the nonprofit that I founded 7 years ago. And so we have 3 arms of outreach to support and advocate for domestic violence. And we support domestic violence shelters with period products. And we give period products to girls and women all over the world. I always say wherever there's a woman, there is a flow. And there's possibly period poverty there. So our goal is to help end period poverty and domestic violence. And then we have a cancer support program, which is going on now, and a scholarship program, which is going on now for underserved high school seniors, as well as single parents. And then I have so much time on my hands that I have Jessica Lynn Speaks Life, which is my professional speaking business that I launched professionally, soft launch January 1st.
And you have a radio show.
Yes, I'm a radio show host. I've had a radio show. This is my 5th year. The name of my show was Purpose, Passion, and Power with Jessica Lynn, and now it has changed to Jessica Lynn Speaks Life, and we're on KUAW on the 1st and 3rd Sunday of the month from 5 to 6 p.m.
I have a drinking game for Aaron. So every time, I bet you forgot 3 other things that you are involved or started. So when you think of a new one, Aaron's going to need to drink. One thing I think, I've said your background, know how involved you are. Thank you so much for being on the show. One thing I think that is interesting that the general population sometimes forgets about is that because of the pandemic, people aren't able to get out there and seek the help that they need, especially in the domestic violence world. So how has that changed? Has reporting gotten better? What are concerns you have? Okay, just kind of give everyone an update on that, because maybe if someone hears something on this show, they can make a difference in terms of helping someone report something that they need help with, because right now a lot of people can't leave their house.
Right, and so thank you so much for bringing that up. With the pandemic, the domestic violence numbers have risen so much. I'm shaking because you are quarantined and you have to stay in with your abuser all day. And when we weren't quarantined, at least these people had a break from each other, right? And so they are quarantined and they are stuck there together. And even if you are in a happy marriage or a happy relationship, being with each other all the time without abuse could be taxing, right? And so if you're in an abusive relationship, it is really, really bad. The numbers are high. The domestic violence shelters are full. They're putting people in hotels to help support with the social distancing. Because if you think about it, the domestic violence shelters often have 1 or 2 families in a room. And so that can't be that way. So they have to do hotels, and which costs a lot of money. And so Giving Hope and Help, we want to take that budget away for period products. And so they can use that money for other things, like helping the women not go back to their abuser, getting the counseling and everything that they need, the children getting play therapy or whatever it is. And so, yes, with the pandemic, it has been horrible. It's horrible anyway, so it's worse. And then with people needing things, food, necessities, essentials are period products. And so many, many times throughout this pandemic with food drives, Giving Hope and Help has partnered with harvesters and other organizations in the city. And even Aaron volunteered at one that I couldn't make it at. So thank you for doing that, Aaron. We are giving out period products where food is given out. And people just don't think about the necessity and the essentialness of period products. And so I say period products are essential.
And then on a different note, it was really great. Kiana chimed in that Aaron put her comment up, and congratulations to Kiana. She's starting her show that's coming up that's going to be sponsored. So really excited for her and for her making a difference. But Jessica, for you personally, we always try to promote a lot of our authors and speakers. And so who typically hires you? And then what service do you perform for them? Just so that if there's anyone watching and they want to hire you, what do you help with? Obviously, I know you do consulting on the side, but from the speaking standpoint, what do people hire you to traditionally do?
When I speak, I have several things that I speak about. So you're talking about my speaking career?
How do we generate revenue for your business?
For my business, for Giving Hope and Help. Okay. So we accept donations from any and everyone. We're looking for corporate sponsorships with corporations to help us specifically for the Education is Your Passport Scholarship Program. We give many scholarships to students. Since the launch, we've given away 72 scholarships and 4 full rides, and we launched in 2015.
Wow.
So in the pandemic, we gave away more scholarships than we ever have in 1 year. In the pandemic, we gave away 23 scholarships and 1 full ride. These kids get brand new laptops in the box. That is expensive. And so we just fundraised over social media through the pandemic and raised enough money to support the program and some. And so the kids get laptops, they get everything they need to go off to college, bedding for their dormitory, backpack, school supplies, mentoring. We even threw in some Chiefs t-shirts. We had to do that. So
and if somebody wants to hire you to speak, I think so, Scott, Scott does a lot in the event stuff. And since you've just started your new speaking side, who is hiring you to speak? What sort of clientele are you speaking for?
Well, let me just say this, that I have been speaking before even Giving Hope and Help. I just never did it as a business. And so, so speaking really is my first love. And so I speak to anyone who'll listen. But I do boys, girls, women, men, whoever. No, but I do custom topics. But I do speak about domestic violence, self-esteem, empowering women, leadership, diversity, HBCUs, the importance of HBCU education.
Can you tell people? I'm sorry to do this, and I know that we shouldn't have to do this in 2021, but I've had to answer this question twice this week. Can you tell people what HBCU stands for?
Yes, historically Black college and university. I am a product of an HBCU, and many great Americans are as well, specifically Kamala Harris, Stacey Abrams, so many, Martin Luther King Jr., so Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So this big importance for that, and I think that the kids in the Midwest need to know about that because we don't have but 2 here, and it's just not talked about like it should.
So let me see. We're gonna thank you so much, Jessica. But I did want to show you. We got quite a few people over here. You got a fan club with you. So
you told me to invite people.
I love it. I think that speaks to the good work you're doing. People have become.
I'm obedient.
I'm assuming you're very well connected to people very high up based upon what I'm picking up and what I know of you. So I feel like you're not name dropping, but I feel it. I feel and what I think of what is that leverage is what people perceive. So I'm perceiving you have leverage.
Not to say names so I won't get in trouble. I love everybody.
Well, I perceive you have lots of leverage in Kansas City.
So let's talk about, Jessica started us off great. She started talking about some of the wins. Again, like I told you all before the show, I thought we would be done with the what's been your win during this crisis, but we're still in the crisis. So let's keep the positivity going. And Jill, why don't you start? Tell us some of your, like a big win you've had during COVID.
So honestly, the biggest win we had, so I own a gym that had to get shut down for 87 days. We were shut down. And we were able to pivot all of our members to online training. So we provided at-home training. We we didn't rent it. We gave our equipment out to our members and went to bare minimum in-house. And we retained all, but I think we lost 7 members. So it was like 6% maybe grand total. It wasn't even 6%. I think overall 6% loss over the COVID. But that period let us really identify that a lot of people are at home struggling with stress, struggling just to find a routine, to be able to really, get into a groove of being at home. Things just got turned upside down. And we were able to really see that people needed help with nutrition. And we had an excellent nutrition program here in my gym at Cobra Command CrossFit. And we found it was very easy to pivot online and take worldwide. And that's what we did. So we stood functional eating up in April in the heart of the shutdown. And that's just been massive for us. And we were able to actually stand up a couple other businesses during that time as well, which are also doing tremendous on that online platform where we're bringing service right into people's home. So that is a win for us with COVID. It's made our community stronger. It's helped us reach out further to people to help more people and kind of meet them where they're at. And we took models that were already working and just fine-tuned them and made them really awesome. We've customized and extremely personalized coaching for both fitness and for nutrition. So we meet people literally where they're at with whatever they're dealing with and have just had tremendous results. So COVID was horrible for our society and our economy, but it was a great year to start an online business.
I would agree with that. Great job pivoting. How about you guys, Jacob?
So we're going to kind of tell the same story, and that's okay. During COVID, I think when we first got hit with it and knew that we were going to be shut down for quite a long time, Jill and I kind of sat down and spent a lot of time with our masks on this room with a huge whiteboard and kind of determined, what are some things that not necessarily we can capitalize on, but some things that people are going to need. And so we started a couple companies together and a couple companies I did by myself. So one of the concept is obviously we were a fitness facility, a fitness gym. And obviously most gyms are shut down. And so a lot of gyms, whether they're CrossFit gyms, Globo gyms, or gyms all over the world that are mom and pop, all pivoted and took all their programming online, which had to happen. And so what's the easiest program to use online? Zoom. And so one of the companies we started in March was taking the idea of Zoom and applying it to a fitness place, which is how do we put a clock on the screen? How do we count reps? How do we put the workout on the screen? How do we make someone a designated coach? How do we have a Spotify plugin? How do we do, just to name a few options. And so that's one company we stood up in March, myself and a couple developers out of Michigan, that allows you to essentially take Zoom and apply it directly to a fitness industry as well. So, yeah.
Well, you guys were quick on it if you were doing it in March.
Yeah, well, I think a couple of us were already really good friends and already knew that it needed to happen. And a few of us bought stock in Zoom regardless, but it needed to happen. But as soon as you saw the gyms get shut down, which happened around February, March for us, I know a lot of us in the Midwest weren't sure what's going to get shut down, what's going to happen, what the rules or laws are going to, regulations are going to come down. As soon as we got shut down, we realized this is the point to take that leap. And Zoom's a great fix, but it's a small Band-Aid solution for a larger issue. So how do we help gym owners across the world, worldwide, to connect with their constituents and create as best a community as they possibly can online?
Nice. Well, look at here, Angie. She joined Cobra after COVID and she loves it. The camaraderie is outstanding. So, love that.
Angie is also an author that you can go to our LinkedIn page and check out. And then Angie referred us to you both. So thank you, Angie. Really appreciate it.
Oh yeah. It's all full circle now. Keep me updated. I'm drinking. So you keep paying attention.
I got the noggins working right now. I'm ready.
Jess, we get to talk often, so I know you've had some big wins. So tell us about some of them.
So for me, in the role that I was in, we essentially wanted to make it easier for founders and inventors and entrepreneurs just like ourselves to kind of see this COVID process through. And as we were starting up our business right when COVID hit, we were taken aback. It was like, what are we going to do? We have just launched this business and here's COVID. Okay, now what? So as a problem solver, I thought, okay, now how am I going to help our company and how are we going to help other people? And so that's how we approach this. And so for me, I essentially wanted to help other people while also helping our company grow. And so to make it easier for founders and entrepreneurs and inventors, we wanted to help them while solving real world problems and to grow and scale their businesses in a way that made sense. And so with that, here I had just cobbled together all of these solutions while helping myself put together my plan of action. And so I had just invented this GPS tracker device. And I wasn't an engineer. And I was finding all of these companies and all of these solutions, and it was tedious. And I thought, there's other people going through this same process. So what if I was that one-stop solution? What if I did that for other people and made it easier and cost-effective and efficient for them and took out all the hassle? Wouldn't that be nice? And what if I did that for a low price? And instead of going toe-to-toe with these larger companies, what if I joined them and integrated and made it all simpler? And then it was like a light bulb moment. And I went to my engineer husband, and he kind of shook his head, and he's like, you just never stop thinking. And he's like, okay, let's do this. And so we put our heads together, and we really thought about, what do people need and what do they want? And the tech industry, it's confusing. And there's a lot out there. And the cost, when you start hiring engineers and you start looking at all of those extreme costs that come with it, you really get into a lot of money. Well, I couldn't afford all of that. And if I didn't have an engineer at home that could put all of that together, I would not have known what I was doing. And so we devised a way that made sense. And I was able to help other people bring their device to the cloud and bring it to life. And so when we first started out, we were a time series database, and then we were an IoT platform. And then it was like, as it evolved, what could we be? Well, what made sense to me was health and fitness are huge right now. And it's fantastic that we have these two people, these two companies right now, Jessica and Matt. And I think about this right now, and it's so wonderful to me because I was a drug alcohol addiction counselor. I taught self-defense in a battered women's shelter.
Wow.
I have worked out with so many fitness trainers that, like, you're coachable, but you're not listening. And I think about that, and I take all of that in, and I think about all of the people out there that are every day looking for the answers, and every day looking to problem solvers, and every day looking to people for the assistance and the guidance, for whether it be, you know, the guidance to walk away from their abuser, or the guidance to find the resources, or the guidance to make healthier choices. And here we have a panel of experts that can do that. And then with the technology that we now have on the market, we have our company who has these devices, who can power it. And I think, wow, what a great panel to be on. And I'm just like full of excitement and joy, because you right here today, you know, Aaron and Scott, you guys are allowing us to do what we do best, speak on the things that we know. And it's just these moments that I feel like, wow, Kansas City, way to go. You know, it's exciting for me to be in this place. And I'm not kidding you. I'm excited because we get to talk about what we love. And now I think of the connections. Like, I'll be on the phone calling you for some advice because I need to get in gear for 2021 to get my health back. But I think about the big things. And I think, truthfully, it's the connection. 2021, COVID has allowed me to slow down in my life. It has allowed me to connect with people. It made me stop trying to beat the clock of what's next in my life. Stop and really look at what's important and realize maybe it's not that big time job that I thought I needed. Maybe I really do need to stop in my life and think about the priorities and prioritize what I'm doing. So all of that to say that I really think it's the human connection. For me, I think COVID really made me stop and really evaluate the people in my life, the business in my life, and the things that I wanted. And I think that it was a hidden blessing. And I know that's not going to be popular across the board, but for me personally, as a woman, as a mother, as a CEO, I think that I see COVID as an eye-opening moment of, wait, we need to slow down and really evaluate what we're doing in our lives and why.
Well, I love that. Someone else also popped in here with a win for you, so I want to share this. Leslie says that you've been amazing supporters of Reuseful, and you're making integral contributions to that project. So.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you so much, Leslie. I will say thank you, because Reuseful has been one of those amazing, I came across her on LinkedIn and I connected with Leslie, and she has by far been one of the most amazing connections here in Kansas City. She connected us with Code for KC. If you're not familiar, definitely check it out. And we are happy to say that we're a sponsor for Reuseful. And by connecting with Leslie, we have jumped on board and we are going to be sponsoring them. And to be a part of that organization is just beautiful. They're doing amazing things over there. And we're going to be pushing out on our social media to help them. They're doing a fundraiser right now. They are changing our community. They're changing Kansas City. So we're excited to be a part of that.
I love it. And Allison, while you were talking about making the connection, said very cool. So I wanted to make sure to share that. Jessica, you shared some of your wins, but do you have any other wins? I've been watching you, so I know you have millions of wins, and Scott wants me to drink. So share some more of your wins.
Well, I feel a lot like Jess to a certain degree. The COVID has made everybody stop, whether you wanted to or not. And so when you stopped, it's what you did with the stop. And what I did with the stop was just reconcile that everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right, regardless of what it looks like. So I always look to find a providential movement in everything. And basically that just means a divine movement from God in every situation. That's what I look for. And with that being said, we received a grant during COVID-19. COVID-19 this 2020, we raised the most money than ever in 7 years of the nonprofit being active. And so what happened with 2020 with regards to people donating to nonprofits or us even is they want to help. They know everybody needs something. And so literally more people helped in 2020 than ever in the history of Giving Hope and Help. Now that was more people, small amounts, some, but more people. And so a big win was 2 grants, more donors than ever, and more scholarships gifted than ever, more period products gifted than ever across the globe to Africa. Wow. This is our 4th year supporting girls in Africa, 4th consecutive year supporting girls in Africa with period products. And we shipped all over to Cambodia, Haiti, Mexico.
Well, I think you did something awesome. I remember talking to you actually before the pandemic started, and you did something awesome where you didn't necessarily always ask for the big donations. Mm-hmm. You saw, which I wish more nonprofits would do, you saw that a lot of small donations, a lot of small donations, right? Like I call it the Netflix model. A lot of small donations. You can get a lot more small donations in less time than to go after the big one donation, right?
Absolutely.
$5-10 coming out every month. People are willing to do that, and that adds up over time versus like kind of the long game is what you played. And I think that probably played a big, because that was your plan going into, because it was your guys' anniversary and you were doing that, right?
Right, and we're still doing it. So we're asking anyone who wants to support us to donate, set it up to get $5 automatically donated a month. Some people say, I can do more than that. I can do more than that. But what I found is that $5 donors never drop off. Budgets happen in families and individuals, and $50 may have to be cut down, and people don't cut it down. They cut it off. So why not just start at something that you can continue? Most people will not miss $5. And so that's what we're pushing in 2021 as well. $5 monthly donors to help us support our operating budget and everything that we're doing. Mm-hmm.
I love that. They can go to your website to do that or reach out to you.
GivingHopeandHelp.org. GivingHopeandHelp.org. $5. That's all we're asking. If you want to give more, we'll take it. But we want you to consistently give.
Well, I love that plan. Okay. Guess who else I invited on, Scott?
Is it what? No. Wendy?
She's here. She's here. I hope she's watching. She's so patient with us and how ridiculous we are. So Miss Wendy Reynolds, who is the CEO of Bank of Blue Valley, she likes to join us every week and ask a question. So we're going to invite her on. You ready?
I'm very ready.
All right, here we go. This is a thought-provoking one, so get ready.
It is.
I want to hear your answers in the comments to this question as well, because this is a good question. She's so smart. All right, here we go.
How do you think about the design of your organization? Are you intentional about it, or do you allow it to happen organically?
All All right, Jill, we'll start with you.
So I would say it's a little bit of both. I think there has to be an outline structure, an idea of where you're going, kind of that vision of what your structure is going to be. But then you absolutely have to find the right people that fit the right positions. Or if you have somebody that is just tremendous and is outside of the box, you have to figure out how to make a place for them. So I think it's both.
I don't really have anything to add to what Jill just said, if I'm honest. I'm just
You're just picking up sponsors like
I'm going to ditto whatever Jill just said and just say I agree with what she said. It was very smart, very well spoken.
It's the brains. You already said it.
I said beauty. I meant broad. Thank you.
Jess, I know as you guys are a quickly growing company. How about you? You're on mute, Jess. You're on mute.
I was laughing and hit mute. Those two are cracking me up.
Jacob was doing it.
That's hilarious. I literally leaned on the mute. Sorry. Okay, get back together here. So I do think it is a combination of both for sure. I think you have an idea of what it's going to be, and it's never that. It just kind of just goes out the window. It's a beast of its own. It takes on, after you get going, it's like, nope, that didn't work out. Plan B. I think my best analogy of what a business is like, people laugh at me all the time, but it's like a small child or a baby. If you don't nurture it and really cater to it as a child, it is just not going to work out. I mean, you have to think about the environmental conditions. You have to think about the people you surround it with. And if you don't have a really good foundation, it's going to crumble and it's going to deteriorate, and it's just not going to grow the way that you want it to. But I really think that you should always have a plan B, and you should always have kind of be ready for anything attitude and be flexible. Because what I have found with us anyway, with Hyprcubd, we really thought we knew what we were doing, and we were for sure that's how it was going to go. And then it really organically grew into something else. And I'm glad that it did, because as it has changed and grown and we've changed and grown with it, it's so much cooler and it's so much better. And it's exciting for me because as it's changing and growing, I feel like we are evolving and growing with it. And as the company has developed into this much cooler, innovative company, I feel like we're learning a lot as we go. And I just love that. And I feel like we have to be willing to do that because the world around us is changing. And if we're not willing to change with it, we're not going to get better. And I feel like that's the whole point of this, is you grow with your company, with any client, whether it be a fitness client or a woman in need or a young child that's growing and needing that mentoring, or a technology company that needs to be innovative and changing with the world. We, as the business owners, have to be listening, always listening as to what that client needs and wants, and being flexible with that change. So I don't know. I think it's both, and always plan B, because you just never know what tomorrow brings.
Great answer. All right, Jessica, how about you?
I'm very intentional, but oftentimes I turn to organic very quickly. with a name of an organization called Giving Hope and Help, the requests are tremendous, especially with COVID. And so I may have a day set or a program set, and I may have to pivot because someone needs me to, bring them period products or other items that we're able to do. So as far as intentional, we have intentional goals set, intentional program set. The COVID has changed our Love Bags for Cancer program forever. We would visit cancer patients for Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. We had partnerships with hospitals where we physically went into the hospital rooms and visited them. And so last February, unbeknownst to us, was the last time that we were able to do that. And so we've had to pivot and organically think of how can we bless cancer patients. And so now you can nominate cancer patients and we'll mail them their gifts. Everything is just, we have to go with the environment, but the needs never go away. So that's what's tricky about Giving Hope and Help. The needs are always there. The needs are great, but we have to think of organic ways to meet them.
I love that. Okay, listen, I need people to start asking questions over here. We got a ton of people watching today, and we've got about 15 minutes left. I am going to ask a question that I have been wanting to ask for a long time, Jessica, of knowing you, and maybe we've talked about it in private before, but I don't think we've talked. Let's talk about it on this big platform. How about that?
That's fine.
I believe that us as Americans, we get a little squirmy when we bring up periods.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are an organization, I mean, even love you, Scott, but even Scott, he went straight to the speaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you are an organization that
I actually wasn't even picking up on it. I was, I know with domestic violence shelters, hygiene products are something people often don't think to donate, but it's extremely important. And that's where they're always, my friends in that space, they're always lacking on it. And then also the historical Black college reference, I didn't pick up on either because I only picked up on it. I'm a sports nerd. And so just food for thought, you know, I think we're all evolving and learning. So just my standpoint that I think maybe some of the audience members like myself didn't pick up on it.
They're learning today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now you're good. Okay, so here's my question. How do you get past that barrier of a conversation that people, especially men, sometimes get uncomfortable having, even though we know we all need it? It's life. It's what if. Scott's like, what? Us? Even though it's natural, it's life, but it's one of those things that we were taught for so long not to talk about. What has that barrier been like, and how have you gotten over that to accomplish the things you've been accomplishing?
Well, you know what? I have shame. I did that when I came out with my sexual abuse as a teen. I hid it for 20 years. And so when I let that out to the world and survived domestic violence, when I let that out to the world, I can talk about anything. And I can talk about it just like bread and butter. And the speaker, whoever the speaker is or whoever's delivering the message, if they're talking it with pure confidence, just like it's bread and butter, peanut butter and jelly, the listener is going to be like, oh, wow, maybe on the inside, but they're not going to try to show it on the outside. And they're going to listen to what you say. Oh, she just said that like nothing. And my girlfriend brought that to my attention when I first started giving hope and help. She said, I would be totally humiliated to talk about periods. I said, really? She says, you're just out here talking about it like it's peanut butter and jelly. I said, because it is. And so if you just, come straight and correct with your message. It's, everybody who's born, their mama had one. So, let's get real with it. It's a necessity. It's time. It's past time. And my goal for our third annual drive was that we get men involved. The third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth annual feminine hygiene product drive, I can say that we had almost an equal amount of number of men or more. This last one, the eighth one, I do believe we had more men than women, and they're texting me pictures of them buying period products at the store. Talk about breaking down barriers. Okay. This is what we're talking about. I have talked to boys about it at schools, and we've done period packing parties at schools with the boys, and the boys were reading the tampon instructions, just totally interested. And so if you deliver with confidence and you deliver with an essential message, they're going to receive it.
I like that.
Can I echo that real quick? I really think that as mothers, because I have a 25-year-old son, and he says to me, it never bothered him. He never felt uncomfortable because I never made it awkward for him.
There you go. And
he said, so I would send him with a grocery list and, tampons would be on there. And he was like, who cares? It's like buying toilet paper. Had I made it awkward and uncomfortable for him, then he would have thought it was awkward and uncomfortable. So as a young adult, his girlfriend would make a little list and put tampons on there. And, she's like, why doesn't it bother you? And he's like, maybe because my father was military and my mom would send me to the store. And my thought behind this was living overseas in Germany, the way that children were raised there, they removed the uncomfortableness of the language of sex or the conversations of diversity. There wasn't the stigma that we often have here in the United States. And I noticed a friend had done that when she sent her son to the store to get feminine products. And I sat back and I thought about that approach and how we are here. And I thought, if I do that, maybe there won't be this awkwardness. And I'm really glad that I did, because then when he became of the age to talk to me openly about things that were uncomfortable for him, it wasn't uncomfortable. He came directly to me. And I'm so grateful, because I felt like that lesson as a young mother, I was able to bridge that awkwardness, because his father was often gone with military deployments, and our relationship was stronger. So I think my best mom advice, my best psychotherapist advice, to echo what you've already said, is removing that awkwardness, removing that stigma. Talk about it just like you talk about the weather. Hey, it's time of the month, and mama needs chocolate, and I need
Here you go.
products, and we're all going to move on. We know what's happening.
I think, to the point too, though, I think Gen Z, which your son would fall in, Gen Z is a whole new generation too, right?
Oh, yes.
Like the males are very, like, they want us women to be on par too. So I love that. Scott, you got anything to
one
add?
quick thing as a token, as a millennial, and you run the largest millennial group, Top Gun Kansas City. I don't think that's a taboo conversation. The last 3 months, I've picked up a lot of feminine products, but also in the last 3 months, as Aaron knows, I love White Claw or like seltzer beer. And so also as a millennial, I like, gluten, so as much as I love a Bud Light or a Coors, I'm really on the seltzer beer train. And so the other day I picked up 3 12-packs, and I got way more looks from the person checking me out that was a woman, and then men in the parking lot than I did at Walgreens when picking up something for my wife, or picking up tampons, not to have the topic be taboo. But it's like, hey, I can drink seltzer beer. I don't need to be judged.
There are so many judgments in our society, and it's interesting how you can feel that when you're having a seltzer and you're holding that seltzer. It's interesting why we do that, or why that stigma is there.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. I want to include Jill in this conversation, because I wonder if she deals with some of the things I do. I don't actually have a business partner, but I have a bunch of men that work for me, and often when we're having the conversations, I still deal a little bit with where they want to look at them versus me. Do you deal with any of that, having so many male business partners, and how have you overcome that?
Yeah, tell us, Jill. Please tell us. Answer that question.
So I'm going to start with, I have a very supportive crew of men around me. I will tell you that I find this interesting. I look at it from a very different perspective, though. I do have a lot of lady nutrition coaches who work for me, or female nutrition coaches. And we talk a lot about kind of the evolution of menstruation and periods and all this stuff, because we're super interested on the athletic side, because there is a training aspect. Like, women should train differently than men. And in the fitness industry, that hasn't historically existed. First of all, there was a taboo for a really long time about women working out in general. I deal with the whole, do you want to look like a man? I'm not going to look like a man. Do you know how much I have to train to look like a man?
Yeah.
And a lot of steroids.
But we're actually venturing into, we're really interested as a company venturing into nutrition as it revolves around your menstrual cycle, and training as it goes around your menstrual cycle. So these poor guys get a lot of exposure to this conversation. So I'm very blessed that they're very supportive on that front, and understand it. I will tell you, I was in the military for 13 years, and I've come from a lot of different male-dominated industries where I do feel like there's that taboo. But boy, I feel like generationally right now, we're really breaking through a lot of that. And it's a really exciting time to kind of see that evolution and that pivot point.
I would agree. I just wanted you to see also your other business partners on here.
Yes, I see Vince.
Oh, yes. Great topic. Please expand.
Well, I love this show so much. We are hitting up on time. We got 5 minutes left. So we're going to let Scott do what Scott loves to do. And Scott loves to ask a cheesy icebreaker question. Okay?
So as we're coming of age and we're experiencing different times in our life, maybe around that time, we also had a first date at a restaurant. So not your first date, I'm a millennial, so there's, movie night in the basement was big. But no, where you actually went to a restaurant. So Jacob and Jill, not to put you on the spot first, but where was your first date as a teenager? And please, audience members, please answer in the comment section where your first date was in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So if you can remember, go for it.
Yeah, so I was, I don't know the exact age, but I was about a teenager, very impressionable, easy to be made fun of. And I went on a date to Sonic, right? So Sonic, there I was. Now to clarify, to give you some background, I was for a long time homeschooled. So there's that stigma that goes with homeschooling kids. So I'm at Sonic with my date and, probably getting a really nice cheesy fries or something like that. I don't know, whatever.
Ooh, that's expensive.
Very good choice. And one of the guys that I played football with at the same time during football season saw me holding the hand of my date. It's a big move for a homeschool kid to hold another girl's hand. Let me tell you right now.
First date?
Yeah. And so we're holding hands at Sonic, and kind of caught his eye, and then he looked away and didn't say anything. Teenagers. And later went to practice that night, and for the rest of the season, I was affectionately called MB. The letter M and the letter B, and that stand for Mama's Boy, because I was on a date with my mom. Because my mom would take me out for dates all the time to get me to realize how to function in a date with a female appropriately. So yeah, my first date was with my mom, and was made fun of for many years, but I ain't changing it because it's a great story.
I'm gonna make Devin go on a date with me. I took Devin to Dave & Buster's like last year, and I told the guy, I'm like, we're on a date, and Devin goes, just so you know, she's my mom. It's not really. So mean. Jill, tell us yours.
Mine is not that good, and I don't feel like I should be able to go behind that. But definitely my first date that I remember was super awkward. And we went to Applebee's, and I remember very much feeling like I couldn't order anything expensive. But I grew up on a farm in Wisconsin, so I feel like Applebee's was expensive, right?
Chips and salsa.
Well, I definitely did the stereotypical high school girl. I'm going to get a salad so I don't look crazy. So that happened.
Jill, I swear to God, my first date, I'm gonna skip you guys. I'm coming back to you. Sorry, but I have to jump in here. It'll be weird if I say later. Was Applebee's, and I got a salad because I thought that if I got something else, it would look like I was going to be fat. And I tell my daughter all the time, order the brownie, order everything you want. But to this day, my favorite, Fiesta Lime Chicken, Scott, if you go to Applebee's.
Oh, yeah. I will throw out there, though, most guys will totally prefer if you actually eat normal and not be weird.
I prefer if you out-ate me.
I didn't know that.
Just keep rolling. Yes.
It's awesome. I love it. So it was totally crazy, but I ended up marrying the first guy that I went on a date with. We were married 20 years. He was a soldier. And it's so funny to think about because I totally was like not aware of these dating rules. So I ate a steak and a potato and a salad, and I was just like, woohoo, thinking about it now. Yeah, probably should have just had a salad, but it is funny to me because I was all concerned and nervous and giddy and giggly. And it's interesting. You think about how ridiculous that first date is. And I probably talked way too much because I still do that. I just talk and talk and talk. But yes, it was very cutesy, and he was my first love, and we got married, and 20 years later, it's just crazy how the time goes.
So eat a steak.
Eat a steak. Always eat a steak. Kansas girl likes a steak.
Steak equals marriage, women.
We were really good friends. Just got married way too young. Not wait till you're older, girls. Wait till you're older.
Jessica, how about you?
Believe it or not, true story. I don't remember my first date. I remember my first boyfriend, but I don't remember my first date. So I'll just go with the prom date. Red Lobster.
Woo!
Yeah, shrimp, always shrimp.
Do you have the biscuits?
Love the biscuits. And you can buy the biscuits in the grocery store now, and they do work. They're just like it.
Ooh. Well, look at this. We've got some people jumped in here. Homeschoolers rock from a fellow homeschooler. Letitia's first date was at a restaurant with her dad. He wanted to show me how I should be treated. She was 16.
That's the purpose of it. That's why you do it.
And Caroline went to see Footloose with the love of her life. And then 3 weeks later, she found a new love of her life. Scott, what about you?
Well, Letitia and Jacob, I am going to take my daughter on her first date after hearing that. She's 1 right now, but 10, 12 years from now, maybe we'll do that. But mine was my older brother drove me, because I couldn't drive, drove us to Garozzo's. My wife and I's first date was to Chili's with a gift card that she had. And today, my friends and I, we get dressed up in tuxedo jerseys and blazers, and we have our wives dress up, and we get corsages from Hy-Vee, and we go to Olive Garden. Because when you're there, they treat you like family. The manager, they bring breadsticks. I say, I can't afford it. Then they bring salad. Then they bring soup. And then they give you another meal after you order one. It's blasphemy. I swear.
So with that said, we're at time. But if you want to come back to Scott's next stand-up show, we're going to be back here next Tuesday at 3 o'clock.
Love it.
We appreciate all of y'all being here. People love the show today. We got a ton of comments. If you watch the replay, let us know and still drop in the comments where your first date was, because we might talk about it next week. Also, if you would be an awesome guest or you know awesome guests, let us know in the comments. So we're going to keep this up. 4 people every single week, all through 2021. So we are very excited. With that said, thank you all so much for coming on. Thank you to our sponsor, Bank of Blue Valley.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week. Have a wonderful, hopefully sunny week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.